REI. Some of you watching may or may not know what that stands for. Well, in today's video, we'll be going over that, plus many more. What's up, everyone? My name is AJ, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the most important real estate investing acronyms and abbreviations. Have you ever found yourself discussing real estate investing with someone, whether online or in person, only to be thrown off by a term or an abbreviation that they were using? And then you go and you sit there and you start Googling and you try to find out what it means before they catch on to what's going on. Or have you ever saw a post online, whether it's an Instagram post or Bigger Pockets or something, and then you had to go back, Google those same acronyms, and figure out what those three letters meant? Well, in today's video, we'll be going over that, plus many more. So, let's get started. HML stands for Hard Money Loan or Lender. A hard money loan is a type of asset-based loan that is secured by real property. The loans are often funded by private investors or institutions as opposed to banks or credit unions. These terms are usually around 12 months and require monthly interest-only payments that are usually between 8 and 15%. And there's usually about 2 to 4 points. That's just the percentage of the total amount up front. The amount of the loan is also based on the value of the subject's properties after repair value. Hard money lenders are primarily concerned with the subject's property value rather than the individual borrower. So they look at the property itself. They don't really look at you. If the deal makes sense, they'll lend you money. ARV, which stands for after repair value. The after repair value represents the future value of a property after it has been improved, renovated, and repaired. This estimated future value of the property is based on the comparable properties or comps in the area. And these comparable properties and the subject property should be similar in condition, age, size, style, and build. After all, that's why we call it a comparable property. P&S. P&S simply stands for Purchase and Sales Agreement. A purchase and sales agreement is a legal contract that obligates a buyer to buy and a seller to sell a property. A purchase and sales agreement finalizes the interest of both parties before closing the deal, and it can be drawn by the parties themselves or with the help of an attorney or agent. CO, COO, however you've seen it, stands for Certificate of Occupancy. It's usually referred to as a CO. A CO is a document that illustrates that a property is considered a safe dwelling to live in. They are usually issued by a municipality's building or zoning authority and affirms that the property has been built and maintained according to the standards in the area. It should be noted that most, but not every, municipality requires them, so please do your due diligence. Find out if the property that you're looking to buy requires a CO, and if it does, get on it. BRRRR. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. The BRRRR strategy. The first letter in the BRRRR strategy is the B, buy. Purchase an undervalued or distressed property with alternative financing, such as hard money or private money. Next, rehab the property. You make improvements to the property to add value and get it rent ready. 3, rent the property. You rent the property out at the current market standards at fair market rent. 4th, you refinance the property. You utilize a cash out refinance to pay off your original loan, and that includes the purchase of the property and the rehab cost. And 5, repeat the process. Simple. Utilize the same money to purchase and rehab your next investment property. If it's done right, you'll be able to continually wash that money over and over and over again to accumulate more properties faster than any other way. And don't worry, we are going to be dedicating a video completely to the BRRRR strategy and really go into the nuances and finer details of the strategy itself. The HUD, or HUD 1 form statement, is a standardized mortgage lending document that creditors or closing agents use to create an itemized list of charges and credits to the buyer and seller in a transaction. It is still often referred to as the HUD by many seasoned investors. Comparative market analysis, CMA, otherwise known as comps. Comps are simply the evaluation of a property's value based on similar, recently sold homes, often called comparables in the same area. An example, a CMA is traditionally performed by a real estate agent or investor who is familiar with property values in the target market. And it should be noted that this is not an appraisal. Proof of funds, POF. Proof of funds is a document that demonstrates how much money a person or entity has available. This document is used to show the seller that you are a serious buyer who can cover the purchase of the property. A proof of funds letter should include your name or investing entity, which is basically your business name, as well as the balance of cash in the account on a specific date. And if you are using traditional financing, a pre-approval letter should suffice. LTV, loan to value. A loan to value ratio measures the relationship between the loan amount and the market value of the asset securing the loan. It is calculated by dividing the amount borrowed by the appraised value of the property. If a property you are purchasing appraises at $100,000 and you make a $20,000 down payment, you take a loan for $80,000. That means you have an 80% loan to value. REO stands for real estate owned. A REO is a property owned by a lender, bank, or government entity that has not been successfully sold at a foreclosure auction. That's after they go to the steps of the county or online and they do a foreclosure sale or foreclosure auction. If it doesn't sell there, it goes back to the lender, back to the bank, becomes real estate owned. The lender takes ownership of the property when it fails to sell at the amount sought to cover the loan. REOs are often sold at a discount by lenders. However, they are usually sold as is and are often in need of repair. COCR simply stands for cash on cash or cash on cash return. A cash on cash return is a rate of return used in real estate transactions that calculates the cash income earned from the property on the cash invested in the property. An example, if you take the annual rent, let's say $24,000, which equates to about $2,000 a month, and you minus the PITI in reserves, which equates to about $18,000, and you divide that by the cash invested to acquire the property, you get your cash on cash return. So if we go back and we say $6,000, which is the rent minus the PITI in reserves, divided by $30,000, we get 0.20 or 20% cash on cash return. And it's a great metric to see if a property is a good deal or not. I personally like to purchase 15 and above, 15% cash on cash return and above. MLS, multi-listing service. The MLS is a database established by real estate brokers to provide data about properties for sale. The MLS allows brokers and agents to see other listings of properties for sale with the goal of connecting buyers and sellers. The MLS provides sellers and buyers mass exposure to properties while utilizing an agent or broker. It should be noted that most properties on the MLS can now be found on platforms such as Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, and Realtor. PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance. PITI are the four components of a mortgage payment. They are the principal amount of the loan, loan interest, property taxes, and insurance, both homeowners insurance and private mortgage insurance. And let's briefly break those four down. Principal. A portion of each monthly mortgage payment is dedicated to the repayment of the loan itself. Interest. Interest is the price that you pay for borrowing money. Mortgage payments in the early years of the loan are weighted on the side of interest. Taxes. Property taxes are assessed by local governments. The lender usually collects the payments and holds them in escrow until taxes are due. And finally, insurance. Insurance premiums, both homeowners and private mortgage, can be paid with each mortgage installment and held in escrow. EMD, Earnest Money Deposit. Earnest Money Deposit is a deposit made to a seller that represents a buyer's good faith to purchase a property. The EMD is delivered when the P&S agreement, purchase and sales agreement, is signed, and once deposited, the funds are typically held in an escrow account until the day of closing. At that time, the EMD is applied to the buyer's down payment overall and his closing cost. REIA, or REIA, Real Estate Investing Association. A real estate investing or investor association is a group of real estate investors that come together to support and help each other through meetups. A REIA meeting usually includes a sponsor who will introduce a product or service, followed by a presentation from an investor or open discussion amongst the group. Common topics are investment strategies, tax strategies, marketing, and deal dives. And we will be doing a deal dive on a property that I recently fixed and flipped, so make sure you look out for that. And remember, local REIA meetings are a great place to network and meet with other investors. And that's it. Those are 15 of the most common and most used real estate investors, acronyms, and abbreviations. I hope that helps. I'm going to be putting a list in the description below. And if you guys have any other thoughts, please let me know in the comments below right there, and I'll get right on it. But that's our time. That's our video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and if you liked the video, please do us a favor and like the video. It means a lot. And remember, if there's a will, there's a way. As always, invest safe, invest smart, and invest in yourselves. Until next time, guys. Thanks.